Hello students, Mrs. Pop here. So today I am ready to start drafting my body paragraphs. So the body is where you really get into all of the information that you want to convey to your readers. I have written my introduction, it's right here, and now I'm going to jump over to my notes. So my first question was, what tips or what advice can I find out to make my trip the best it could possibly be? And so I didn't use complete sentences, but I found out it's important to think about packing. There are specific things that you should pack, and there's also an app that can be helpful. So now I want to organize this into my first body paragraph. Now, I say paragraph, but I may find that I want to put these into 2 paragraphs or 3. As the writer, you get to be the decision maker on that. So looking here and just thinking about how I want to organize my first sentence. Before I do that, let me reread my introduction so I can kind of get in the flow of my paper. Imagine you are hot and tired. You are waiting in a winding line for a roller coaster that stretches for eternity. Your feet hurt and you are hungry. This kind of disaster is exactly what can happen if you don't plan carefully for a trip to Walt Disney World. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter and make sure to indent, which it already is indenting, so your tab button will indent for you. I think I'm going to come up with a heading for this section, and I have tips on my notes, and I think I want to say tips for a magical visit. So I do want to, right now it's left aligned if you look up top, and you do want your writing to be aligned to the left, except for headings and maybe different text features like photos or diagrams. You might want to center those. I'm going to center my heading. And so let's see, tips for a magical visit. And with a heading, you want to capitalize most of the words in a heading like you would a title. So I think I use bold on that heading, and I want to make that bold as well. So now I'm going to hit enter, and I want to align left again. So I'm going to click up here. That's my align left. If you forget, you can just hover over it, and something will pop up to tell you. All right, so I have indented already. I think I'm going to say the first step towards, let's see, let me look back at my notes again. I do think it makes sense to start with this because you're going to be packing before you're going to be going, although you do want to download the app before you go too. But I think I'm going to start with the packing and say the first step towards a great family vacation to Walt Disney World is careful packing. Okay, so let me jump over here and write that. Type it. Oh, and I'm still bold. Don't want to be bold anymore. Okay, let's see. Careful planning. Period. Okay. And so I probably want to go into some of the things that I mentioned that you should pack. So I don't just want to make a list. I need to still write in complete sentences. So I might use the transition here. For example, bringing along comfortable shoes is essential. I like that. So, let's see. For example, I'm also noticing my fonts are different here, and that does not make it flow well together and look connected. So I want to pick something out that is going to be consistent throughout, and it looks like they're different sizes too. I'm going to stick with 12. That makes it look more connected, and it's a little easier for the reader to read. Okay, so let's see. I think I just want to add in a sentence here that says a little more about why the comfortable shoes are important. I don't have that in my notes, but I know just from having done the research and thinking about it that if you're not wearing the comfortable shoes, then your feet are going to be hurting. Your feet might get wet if it rains a lot in Florida. So I think I'll just add in a sentence. Otherwise, you will be in pain after just one day in the park. After just a short time. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the poncho. And I need to think, my reader may not know what a poncho is. This might be an option for me later on to add some images with captions of ponchos and comfortable shoes and the different things that they should pack. So for now, I think I will say another item that is important to pack is a poncho. I want to elaborate a little bit more about the poncho and why that's important. I know that in my research it talked about not only do people wear a poncho during wet rides like Splash Mountain and things like that, but in Florida it rains a lot, and so there's frequent rainfall, and so the ponchos help with that. And I found out that a poncho is like a rain jacket, but it looks a little different from your regular old rain jacket. So I think I will put an image in of a poncho later when I get to adding some text features. But for now, I just want to explain a little bit more about the poncho. I'm going to say everyone knows Florida has frequent rain. So ponchos are a must. I also want to talk about how they can be handy with the wet rides. So I'm going to use a transition in addition. Ponchos come in handy going on rides such as, and I didn't list the wet rides, but I know just from my background knowledge which ones are wet, so I'm going to list some here. Splash Mountain, the Magic Kingdom, or there's another one, Animal Kingdom. That's a rapids, like you ride in a boat. Okay, let me reread what I have written. And I definitely recommend that as you all are typing that you frequently stop and reread what you have, because sometimes I make mistakes in my writing and that's a good way to catch it. It also helps me connect one sentence to the next. So I have here, everyone knows that Florida has frequent rain, so ponchos are a must. In addition, ponchos can come in handy when going on rides such as Splash Mountain at the Magic Kingdom or Kali, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, River Rapids at Animal Kingdom. I'm going to add in both rides will get you soaked. And I think I'll capitalize that for emphasis and put an exclamation point. Okay, so I'm going to keep on as I'm doing now, using my notes to help me come up with complete sentences, and I'll probably finish out this as one paragraph and then move to a separate paragraph to talk about the app and all the cool things that it does. So I can't wait to read your body paragraphs, and good luck.